Today we're working on this 2003 Lexus, and it's been having problems eating the front tires. And I think the control arm bushings are wore out on this thing. So we're going to go ahead and swap those out. And I also have a shaft seal at the transmission that's leaking. Changed it out before, but it was an aftermarket seal and it just didn't seal. So let's get to it. All right, let's go ahead and rip off this tire and see what we got. All right, so that is what we're after. We're going to yank the lower control arm off. The manual says the sway bar bracket has to come off. The brake hold down has to come off. And then underneath, we just unbolt the ball joint, and that comes loose. But to get this other one, the front mount, I might have to pull the engine mount. That's kind of what I recall before, which really seemed pretty stupid, but you know, it is what it is. Sometimes you just got to take stuff off and get to the point. And then the transmission is actually leaking pretty bad, so I'm glad I'm going to get at that seal. You can see the clean spot where the ATF is cleaning it all off there. All right, first things first, let's get the axle nut off. Beautiful. 30 millimeter 12 point. Oh, we got lucky. Look at that. It didn't twist and turn. Fantastic. Okay. All right, well, I got ahead of myself and forgot to bring you along for the ride. Oh, need one more tool. Lovely. Not sure if that's maybe studdish. I think it might be knurled and it's not going to come out that way. These other ones are knurled, but they're looking pretty tired. I can't remember if that unscrewed. Yes, it does. Okay, zip this off. Really? Oh, I have to get the right tool. Oh, good. There's a break. Yeah, this engine mount has to come off. Yep. Okay, let me grab some tools. Here's this little panel here. Okay, well, let's hit them. Not bad. So I probably have to jack up the engine. Wow, that is a long ways to go. Don't like that at all. Well, a little bit more, hope for the best. Don't put thumb underneath there, bad spot. Well, I think it's gonna have to go high enough to get that out of the top. A lot of pressure on the transpan there. All right, so it comes loose, can't get it out. I'm gonna try to loosen up the front mount, give me just a little more room. It's funny, the manual just says, hey, check out this mount. Sure. No problem. No problem. Yeah, isn't that fun? I'm gonna say no, not fun. That's the one we're going for. Watch the brake line. Fantastic. Okay, we're going to get this one over here. Gonna put that back in a thread while I get the back part off. It says nah. Ah, there it goes. The nut spinning, I hope not. There we go. Okay, operator muffler. So close. Yeah, there's still a lot of pressure on that. Gee, wouldn't another floor jack be nice? I think I'm gonna have to rest that transmission on a board. It's a little sketchy because the the spring can shoot the block out, but it isn't going to come off if the strut is contained. Boy, remind me on the next one to take that bolt out first. Yeah, shit's gonna go wrong. Oh shit, the whole half shaft came out. Wow, why does that bolt not want to come out? Okay, well, this was the goal. We got that. Unfortunately, there's a little collateral damage. When it popped, it pulled the half shaft out. So I'm going to have to get a new boot at least. The half shaft is pretty new. So I'll just put that back together. All right, well, today we're going to start off with trying to get the last part of the half shaft out. So let me see if I can get this back in here. And we'll use it as the slide hammer. Okay, so that's there. Okay, you ready? Let me get much pull on that. Haha! So that worked. Okay, so now you can look at that seal in there. See how it's been leaking down here, nice and clean with all the trans fluid. Well, it's actually a little tighter than I thought. Thought it was pretty ridiculous, and it would just pop right out. It's coming. There we go. Okay, I'm going to leave that be for a minute. Turn my attention back to the control arm. So we're actually going to press out the bushings. Seeing as how I changed this out 4 years ago and it's already failed. I bought some energy suspension polyurethane bushings to stick in there. Because we're not doing this again, although car's probably not going to live that long. But anyhow, let's see about pressing those out. Yeah, this is going to be like a monkey jumping football here. Well, that's good. Is it going to pop out? Oh, shit. Screwing up our I'm not sure what to do at this point. I'm going to take a little off of these sides too. And we'll salvage this. It'll be okay. I'll just put that where it's on a different spot. to try this again. Okay, back to step one. I'm just going to get that started with the vise really quick. Okay, let's start with that a little higher. And we'll hope it all just finds its way down as we go. Okay, that's through. Oh, sad noises. Oh, I wonder if it's far enough along we can just press on the end. That's so close. Hey, there we go. Magic. Oh, look at that. The bushing is coming back into shape. Oof. Holy cow. Okay, that is that. Oh yeah, I see my socket was hitting. Bigger socket was definitely needed. So off we go. Well, it's time to try to get this seal in here, and you know, this will be fun too. Sometimes I wonder why I do this. I guess it's just a matter of necessity, really. Somebody coined the term automasochist, and you know, that applies. Yeah, this is just gonna suck. At least the old seal kind of fits over it nicely. So I'm hoping I can just kind of tap that in all around. But of course I can't really get to it. Hey, you still watching? You getting bored yet? Probably. This isn't super exciting. Yeah, it might be okay like that. Come up a little high. Okay, well, now I just need the top part. I think that's good, actually. Yep, that feels nice and even all the way around. Yay. Oh, and like that, I see maybe what my problem was. The lower sway bar is in the way. So if I would have got the other side off, the sway bar would be up and out of the way. Okay, I'll go pull that other wheel off, undo the sway bar. Okay, now I can move this out of the way. And that should go in there. Oh, like butter. Okay, there's that. There's that. Well, that may be fun to get the lower ball joint back on. Well, I forgot a piece. What the hell that does anyhow? That piece I just put on acts like a, it's a stop for the other bushing. We can let go of the ratchet strap now, it's just getting in the way. Alright, now we got to torque the main bolts down, and they go to about 150 foot-pounds, which I expect on the big lower ones, but not on the back control arm. Heavier than expected. Fantastic. Well, at this point, I think I can get the motor mount back in. And what I'm going to do on that motor mount, because it was so close to getting out, there was some extra space on the top. I'm just going to cut off about 1/8 of an inch, and we'll still be okay. All right, so I jacked it up, got the weight back on the jack. Hey, look how much easier that is. Just let this down a tiny bit. And again, be real careful that, like, you know, where you put your fingers, you don't want to get them between the heavy things. Just in case shit goes wrong. And these bottom ones are a little weird. They're, you know, you have to go inside the lower subframe. All right, so I've got my replacement half shaft for the one that I broke, which is probably okay anyhow, because the boot wasn't looking that good. Nothing seems to last anymore. I read the actual instructions, and they suggest using assembly lube or grease to hold the C-ring centered so it's easier to put in. So I actually had some transmission assembly lube, and it's super, super sticky, and that's going to work great for that process. And then I put a little grease on the seal sleeve, or the area where the seal rides. Wow. Yeah, that really made a difference, because before I've had to fight those things to get them in, and that just went in like a breeze. Well, now comes the fun part. I'm going to have to get that arm down, because it's in the way for everything. Well, I ended up using a ratchet strap to pull down on the arm a little bit, and then I was able to pull it all back and get the spline in. It's not quite right yet, but it's close. There we go. Although it is going to be a bit of a trick getting the arm pulled down. To get the ball joints back on. Although that's pretty darn close. Watch the fingers, kids. Beauty. Guess I'm not done yet. It's close, I just need to get the second bolt in there. Wow, that really worked great. I'll show you what I did. So basically, I got a chain around the arm and then along like an old jack handle for leverage. And then I needed to add the 2x4 for just a little extra leverage because otherwise I was out of room to push down. And that let me push the arm down enough to get the ball joint started. So now I'm just going to take a second and tighten up the ball joint bolts. Okay, the driver's side's all wrapped up here. Went pretty well aside from the half shaft coming apart, but you know, is what it is. Things happen. And then pressing the bushings went pretty well. And you know, all in all, it wasn't too bad. It could have been a lot worse. So anyhow, this side's done. Let me go ahead and get started on the other side. All right, so when working on this thing here, I found that this wire was kind of loose. It looks like it's maybe been hitting the belt a little. Oh no, that's just the plastic bracket. So you can see maybe here it's dancing off the belt a touch. You can see this part up here has been hitting the belt a bit. So I'm just going to put some clamps on this to hold it back. And that should be good. Well, let's try to be very careful here. All right, I think that's it. I think it's time to put the wheels back on and we'll drop this thing down and go ahead and check all the fluids. All right, passenger side's all done and the wheels are back on and everything's torqued. I torqued the axle nut on the other side to 217 foot-pounds. Wasn't too bad, as long as you have a big torque wrench. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, at least found it interesting, maybe helpful, even better. Anyhow, please hit like and subscribe. Thank you.